Hello, hello, my friends. Just checking to see if I'm live. I think I'm live. Let me check. I think I'm live right now, my friends. My friends, I see a lot of people already here, so don't forget to leave a like. Just closing a couple of things. My friends, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are all doing tremendous. Beautiful day in Portugal. Is getting quite hot. I believe it's the same in America. Hello from Arizona, Oklahoma. My friends, we go into the States. Just give me a second. Live, everything good? Okay, you make my day. Thank you so much. Hey Karen, hey Jane. My friends, today we have a lot of things to talk about. People said, oh André, don't do this live stream talking about what ended up happening yesterday. My friends, I'm going to make one thing clear. I don't avoid any topics. Of course, I try to be respectful to everyone, but I think it's a good idea to have a live about this today. We are hot. My friends, I have some Coca-Cola. Do you guys know this Portuguese brand, Coca-Cola? Is this a famous brand in America? Of course it is. No Dr. Pepper for me. Standard European size. Everything is smaller here. Not everything, but you guys got the point. My friends, we are going to do the introduction. I see that everything is working and that makes me so damn happy. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Sunday live stream. We go live every Sunday. And guess what? I'm here. I'm ugly, but I have a lot of beautiful people right there. Take a look. Patrick, John, Sue, Lisa, all beautiful people. Again, if you are not aware, if you are watching this after the live, remember, we go live every Sunday. But we have a lot to talk about, but before we... okay, this introduction is a bit bad. Before we go into the topic today, let me ask you for one thing. If you can leave a like, thank you so much. It's the best way to show support. Now, let's see if my viewers know what I'm gonna say. If you can subscribe, well, in that case, forget about it. You, my friends, you what? There is a delay. Wait for them, my friends. You? Watching from Georgia, I get it, Jane, but if you can subscribe, you what? No one. My friends, I need anyone to say. You make my day. Let's go, my friends. You truly make my day. So this was a bit late, but you really make my day, my friends. Now look at all the beautiful people saying you make my day. Of course you make my day. And last but not least, there is 50 states in America. Not 51. Let's stop with that joke, by the way. There is 50 states in America. 50 beautiful states. I'm looking at you, Louisiana. I'm looking at you, Michigan. I'm looking at you, Arizona. I'm looking at you, Texas. All 50 states are beautiful. We have how many people watching? I'm gonna guess close to 100. So let's say we have 100 people. There is 50 states. I would love to know if I have at least 25 states watching me right now. My friends, leave me a comment in the chat. Tell me from what state you are watching and I'm gonna count. Today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They call me the count because... Okay. Montana, number 1. North Carolina, Texas, Minnesota, Alabama, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Georgia. Even people in Europe are watching. Connecticut, Missouri. We have at least 15 already. Illinois, Virginia, Texas, Oklahoma, I feel like we have all the 50 states actually, my friends. I feel like we have all the 50 states. New Jersey, be careful with the aliens, by the way. Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, North Carolina, Lisbon, Russia, what the... My friends, okay. New York, wow. New Hampshire, California, Louisiana, Kentucky. Oh, my friends, Kentucky today is kind of strong. What happened with people from Kentucky that everyone is watching me today? Colorado, North Carolina, North Carolina. Wait, no, it's North Carolina. Oh my. Okay, let's speak American from now on. Let's stop with the English bull crap. South Carolina, Canada, Ohio, Dallas, Missouri, North Carolina, Florida, Nebraska. Okay, my friends, I get it. Arkansas. Actually, that's a difficult name. Kansas, very easy. But we don't say Arkansas. We say Arkansas. Am I right? Atlanta, Georgia. 30 at least? Yeah, I feel like 30 at least, my friends. Ohio, Indiana. Oh my. Jen said only 85 likes. Give André likes, he deserves them. I mean, it's an American saying this. Not a Portuguese guy asking. I would never ask for likes, right, my friends? But if my viewers ask for likes, I mean, what can I do? Rodrigo in Porto. Okay. So, my friends, let's go direct into the point. It happened. I'm pregnant. No, sorry, bad joke. It happened. America ended up striking Iran. No one should be shocked at this point. If you guys have been, watching my reactions, not that I'm any type of expert, but I thought it was kind of obvious that America and Iran, they would eventually face each other. In this case, America is not facing anyone, they are destroying Iran. I think it's kind of fair to say that, even though this was a very strategic move. My friends, I was watching the news, and I saw something that blew my mind. So I thought the B-2 bombers that end up doing the job are the ones that America send to the military bases there. Do you guys know that was kind of like a decoy? They made them think those B-2 bombers will bomb them, and now all of a sudden there is more B-2 bombers coming. America has so many B-2 bombers that they can use B-2 bombers as decoys. Do you guys know this? Are you guys aware of this? Russia said they might give Iran a nuke. Okay, I guess then we give Ukraine a nuke. They are not even dealing with Ukraine, my friends. Let's all be real. I think America, the biggest rival is China, not Russia at this point. So, my friends, look, I'm going to be the most honest I can. I was impressed with America because at the end of the day, this was a strategic move and they end up executing that perfectly. How proud, this is not going into politics, how proud are you of the US military? Can I get a like? Can I get the earthy emoji or even the US flag? My friends, if you are proud, now is the moment to show. People are still saying the state. For some reason, there is a crazy delay always. It's kind of insane. My friends, we are 275 likes. Thank you so much, my friends. You guys are truly the best. But you know what? We have something to react. André, is that Fox News? Yes, it is. But don't worry. Because we have a CNN video after this one. So here we cover both parties. Look at all the flags, my friends. Are you guys seeing all the flags? That means that they are proud of the US military. I was proud. I thought they end up playing this very well. I have to admit, I saw the news that America said they give Iran 2 weeks. I'm not saying this because it ended up happening, but I was like, maybe 2 weeks, or maybe not. I had the feeling that they end up playing some mind games with them. My friends, we are going to play this. Cannot be allowed. And we are talking about what? Nuclear weapons. My friends, gonna put something out there. If this offends you, it is what it is. I still love you, and I hope you accept my opinion. But if you think Iran having nuclear weapons is a good idea, you are not that smart. I mean, I'm being honest with you, my friend. Look, I'm also not crazy smart, or even smart. But if you think Iran having nuclear weapons is a good idea, sorry, it's not. Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, the list goes on. Most countries, most Western countries have to deal with those terrorist groups in one way or another. Sometimes with proxies, sometimes with direct attacks. So if you think those groups having even one nuclear weapon is a good idea, I'm sorry. My friends, I'm sorry. That's not a good idea at all. America and Israel, to a certain degree, did a dirty job, but they did the necessary job, if that makes sense. Do you guys agree with me here, my friends? I saw some people, but they don't have the nuclear weapons. My friends, you guys know the cooking show I have here on the channel. If I'm gonna make a pie, if I have the flour, if I have the eggs, the milk, whatever, the pecan things, okay, let's say an apple pie. I have the apple, I have the cinnamon. What do you guys think I'm about to do? Let's all be honest here. I have all the ingredients. Oh, André, but you don't have a pie. Yeah, but I'm gonna make one soon. Okay, my friends. So, donation. Friend, when in Texas, you must try Salt Lick barbecue. Actually, I thought the alerts are on. But thank you, my friend. I think the alerts will be on now. Thank you so much, my friend. I will take a look at that. You guys agree, right? What is your point? Melissa, if you are going to make biscuits and gravy, and you already made the gravy, the biscuits are in the oven, what do you think will happen when the biscuits are done? You have biscuits and gravy. Iran had basically all the ingredients to make a nuclear weapon. This was very well reported. They are what, 1 week away, 1 month away? That, of course, is a bit unpredictable. But we knew that they are working on that. And we also know that Iran is actually, I'm going to risk to say this, is the country that finances the most terrorist groups. By far. So what do you think will happen? You know, so I actually, to me, blows my mind, my friends, that some people are even questioning the move. I understand a lot of people don't like Trump. A lot of people didn't like Joe Biden. I understand all of that. But I'm going to say this. If this was Biden, Trump, Bush, whatever the president, I would say this was a good move, no matter what. Apple pie? Actually, I would love some apple pie, my friends. John, not only Israel had great information about that also, so enriched uranium, yeah. And even if even if Iran tried to argument that they have uranium to produce nuclear energy, the amount of uranium they had, that word is difficult, enriched uranium, it was in a scale that made no sense. So, my friends, let's all not pretend. Honestly, look, blows my mind that there is people that nowadays, apart from defending Iran, they also look at a lot of terrorist groups like they are heroes. I saw people defending Hamas, my friends. I saw people defending Hezbollah back in the day. I saw people defending the Houthis, that they are some type of heroes. My friends, what are we talking about? Look, sometimes the world seems like they end up flipping when it comes to values. I understand that you may disagree with certain politics or something, but the Western culture needs to be protected, and the Western culture influences the rest of the world, either you like it or not. Oh boy, people are already fighting in the chat. America end up stopping World War III. Look, that I don't know, but even if World War III happens, there is some type of escalation with China or Russia, I still think the move was correct. One thing does not invalidate the other, because the other thing we cannot predict, but this one, we had good reasons to believe it could end up in a really bad scenario, my friends. My friends, let's play this.
Oklahoma Senator James Lankford, member of the Senate Intel Committee and Homeland Security Committees. Senator, welcome to Fox News Sunday. You heard what your colleague there had to say from the other side of the aisle. I don't think anybody is excited or supportive of a, quote, war in the Middle East. So what happens next?
Yeah, certainly we're not excited about a war in the Middle East, and no one's looking for a war in the Middle East. And President Trump has made it very clear he's not trying to be able to start a war in the Middle East. He's trying to be able to protect American lives around the world. People forget there are 700,000 Americans that are in Israel right now, and they're facing an onslaught.
Holy.
We've had 174 attacks on American warships right off the coast of Yemen with the Iranian weapons. We've had multiple attacks on Americans in the region in Iraq just in the past few months. So we have faced a tremendous amount of inbound attacks from Iran. So I think the president's shown incredible.
God bless America. Say it, my friend.
André, thank you for your love and appreciation for the USA. You and your family are honorary Americans.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, friend. But my friends, I know you guys think I'm defending America, but I'm not. I'm basically defending what I think is correct. And I think America is correct. That's it. Of course, I love the country, but believe me, I'm not defending America because of that. I mean, for me, when I look at Iran, when I look at all the terrorist groups they finance, all the blood they have in hands, and people still go, oh, let's not even discuss this. Maybe they will not have nuclear weapons. My friends, if they have nuclear weapons, a lot of bad things will happen.
Restraint. And
so great move by America, honestly.
Out of inbound attacks from Iran. So I think the president's shown incredible restraint. And as for the argument that somehow Iran is a long way from a nuclear weapon, I think everybody's skipping over the International Atomic Energy Agency. Just May the 30th said that Iran is 2 days away. At that point, they said it's May the 30th. 2 days away from having their first weapons-grade uranium. They also found evidence of a weapons manufacturing technology that's happening. So all of this thought about they're a long way away from it. 2 days doesn't seem like a long way away from having their first weapons-grade uranium. They might have been a month away from having a dozen, but not for their first. And all it takes is having their first ready. The president's been very, very clear they cannot have it.
God bless America. Say it, my friend.
I voted for Trump to make the choices nobody else will make. We all said they can't have nukes, but everybody was split on what we all knew was the right move. This had to be done.
Kevin, thank you so much for the $10. I agree with you here, my friends. With you, my friend, in the sense that this had to be done. There is no way, and people let's say, oh, but they've been saying they can have nuclear weapons soon in the last 10 years. That's true, but we also have to have in consideration that the Hamas situation ended up changing a lot the paradigm. Is that a word in English? I mean, it is in Portuguese at least. But ended up changing the view of the Middle East. All of a sudden they started looking at Israel like a crazy big threat to them, and what reports say is they end up increasing the speed of eventually having a nuclear weapon. So, and Israel and America, they have some of the best information in the world when it comes to this type of stuff. Look at what Israel is doing, my friends. They put a new military chef in Iran, dead. They put another one, dead. They put another one, dead. Can you imagine they asking you for the job? I would say no. Lisa, say it, my friend.
America keeps the world safe, emo.
No, I mean, something that, I believe Americans don't even like that expression, but a lot of Europeans say this, is that America is kind of like the police of the world. And this can have a good and a bad connotation, to be honest with you, because for some people being the police of talking about Europeans now, saying that America is the police of the world, sometimes they have the connotation of some type of authority, that forced authority. I never end up looking at things that way. I thought they are the police of the world because at the end of the day, they have the strongest military by far.
A nuclear weapon. In fact, that has been a bipartisan statement that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon for a very long time.
I want to play a little bit of something from Iran's foreign.
My friends, to me, you know what kids say nowadays? Big W. I believe that means big win. Big W for America here.
Foreign minister speaking a short time ago, talking about also that he's going to meet with President Vladimir Putin of Russia today. Here's what Iran's foreign minister had to say.
While President Trump was elected on a platform of putting an end to America's costly involvement of forever wars in our part of the world, he has betrayed not only Iran by abusing our commitment to diplomacy, but also deceived his own voters by submitting to the wishes.
What? Is this guy serious, my friends? My friends, they finance all the terrorist groups in the world. American that breaking the law.
Of a wanted war criminal who has grown accustomed to exploiting the lives and wealth of American citizens to further the Israeli regime's objectives.
Not surprising that's how the Iran foreign minister would term all of that. But what do you make now of him taking that attitude to go meet with Putin and their strategic partnership those two countries say they've got?
Yeah, right now, Putin is slaughtering the Ukrainians next door using Iranian weapons, as they have done for a very long time now through this war. And so it is not surprising that the two of them continue to be able to ally together. The challenge that we have right
My friends, I'm going to say something controversial right now. I think America had a big winning here. And I think America can deal with Iran quite easy. Maybe they have to do another attack. I'm not sure. I think Iran is not them enough to try to mess with America at this point, since Israel is already destroying them. But I'm going to say something that, look, I know a lot of you guys will disagree. I think if America wants to make a big move now, a lot of you guys will not agree with what I'm about to say. But I think the next move that would make America, like Trump say or something, big win, would be helping Ukraine right now. I think, look, Iran is basically then, Iran is one of the most important proxies of Russia, if you really think about it. Now help Ukraine to deal, to stop the invasion of Russia. And I think this is a tremendous win. This honestly, because I see America, in this case Trump, trying to deal with Putin. And if I had to criticize Trump here, is that you should not negotiate with Putin, my friends. That guy is crazy. With all the respect, no, it's not like he's watching. But don't deal with him. I think we have to support Ukraine here. So, but I'm sure a lot of Americans will disagree with this, since a lot of Americans, from what I understand, they want nothing to do with the war there.
Right now is we cannot have a nuclear armed Iran. We cannot.
But to me, my friends, that would be the move. Strike Iran, Israel now finish the job, and Ukraine, and we are going to protect the Western. That would be the move. And Europe step up also, you know.
Not have an Iran that is the largest state sponsor of terrorism, that continues to be able to develop new technologies to be able to attack their neighbors. We cannot allow them to be able to have a nuclear weapon.
God bless America. Say it, my friend. Very easy message.
USA emoji, USA emoji, USA emoji, USA emoji.
Can I get some emojis?
USA emoji, red heart emoji.
Thank you so much, my friend. See, a lot of people are saying no on Ukraine. Absolute no more help to Ukraine. See, my friends, that's where I disagree with you. But that's fine, you know. I think helping Ukraine would be important. But I also look. Can I put myself in your you know? Can I have an American brain right now and thinking we are putting a lot of money in a war that is none of your business? I understand that, but
weapon. That has been clear. President Biden said that, but did nothing about it. President Trump has said that. President Obama said that.
People are saying something that is interesting, that Europe should be the one that is a bit more ready to deal with the war in their continent. And I could not agree more. But at the end of the day, my friends, Big Dad America is very strong. Say it, my friend. Thank you so much.
Since 1979, many Americans have been harmed by this regime. Trump had to do what he had to do.
No, I mean, yeah.
That before. This cannot be allowed. And President Trump has been the one to be able to take the strong action to say they've done one thing. They've stopped the nuclear weapons program there. And what has been very clear is in Fordo, that deep mountain, that there's no way to be able to stop it without American support. So contrary to popular statements here, to be able to say the Israelis have somehow set back the Iranians where they couldn't advance that program. Everyone's been very clear. Fordo is the location where they've been advancing their nuclear technology towards weaponization. That spot could only be taken out by American forces. The president's taken that one spot out and has said now it's time to be able to actually come to the table, because Iran for months has refused to be able to make an agreement to be able to.
So someone said, André, would you go to fight in that war? I believe you are talking about the Ukraine war. That's an interesting question, and I understand your point, but I was not saying that America needs to send troops there. I was basically America to help Ukraine. Giving weapons, giving a technology is enough, you know. Again, a lot of people are disagreeing with me here. And I also understand that it's not America's war. But I think this would be a strong message to a culture that have been messing with America for long, you know. I know the target is Ukraine, but let's be real. Russia is also not a great country when it comes to human rights.
Eliminate those nuclear weapons, so we eliminate their capability for them.
So what about Senator Kane's point? And he's not the only one making it. There are others who have said that President Trump bears some responsibility for where we found ourselves because of his withdrawal from the earlier agreement and the fact that it gave Iran some autonomy with proceeding without some of the guardrails or inspections it would have had otherwise.
Okay, my friends, before we see the answer, let's actually make a quick poll here in the comment section. So you guys are okay with the war in Iran, the war, again, striking Iran, if it will become a war or not, that we have to wait and see. But you guys don't agree with the Ukraine war, not the Ukraine war, helping Ukraine. Is this a correct assumption?
We need a stronger EU to help out its allies close to home. We won't be there forever. With a strong EU, the less temptation for Russia or others to do what they do.
No, my friend, you are totally right. I mean, see that's where I also tend to agree. So I can understand both sides, in the sense that if I was American, I may share the same perspective as you. But I hope you guys also understand, as a European, I'm quite more in the Ukraine side that I'm in the Russian side. And I also know that Europe needs America. Again, it's our fault, no doubt about that. We need to spend quite more when it comes to the military budget. Because, a lot of Europeans like to make jokes, oh, America does not have free healthcare. Well, I mean, yeah, they don't have free healthcare, but they also spend a lot of money when it comes to military stuff to protect you guys to have free healthcare. So, my friends, I try to be fair here in the sense that even if I have an opinion, I can see, or at least try to see how you guys are seeing things, and it's totally valid.
So they've continued to have inspections. The International Atomic Energy Agency continued to be able to have their cameras, their inspection devices, their technology that was in those locations. Iran is the one that actually took those apart several months ago. Again, we go back to President Obama that actually made this agreement that allowed over 10 years Iran to continue their nuclear technology and to have a 10-year time period until they could actually get to a bomb. President Trump stepped in and said, no, we're not going to give you 10 years time period. You can't have a bomb at all. You can't continue your nuclear work on this. So President Trump set that aside. President Biden.
Europe does not pay their fair share. Fair. Again, my friend, you are correct.
Came back and said, well, we'll negotiate.
Because the thing is, people should not debate this type of stuff. We can look at statistics and we see that most countries in Europe don't even meet the 2% and that's the minimum, from what I understand, for the military budget. They rely a lot in America. My friends, you are correct. I'm not even debating this with you, my friends. When you guys are correct, you guys are correct.
So President Trump set that aside. President Biden came back.
That said, my friends, if you guys can leave a like, and if you are having a good time, that's the moment to leave a like. We are close to 700 likes.
And said, well, we'll negotiate again. Maybe we'll allow you to be able to have that. President Trump came back again, as the American people asked him to do, and said, you cannot have a nuclear weapon. This is not about they can't do their nuclear power. Of course they could do nuclear power. But every single country that has nuclear power, including Iran, that power is actually supplied, that uranium is supplied from the source that actually set up the actual nuclear power plant. Iran is trying to be the only country in the world saying we're trying to only do peaceful power, but also produce their own uranium. They're also producing uranium at highly enriched levels that no other country in the world, unless they have a nuclear weapon, actually has. There's no question Iran was working towards having a nuclear weapon. That is without question. Everyone knows it that looks at the data on this. The question is,
my friends, well said, and people still try to deny this type of stuff. I didn't know André was right-wing. My friend, I'm not right-wing or left-wing, because the way politics work in my country are actually quite different than in America. But if I agree with something, I don't look at this if this is right or left wing. I said this, if this was Biden doing, I would say this was a good move, no matter what, okay?
will they be allowed?
That idea that you try to put people in boxes, they are this or that, just annihilates a lot of people. We are quite more than one side or the other.
To be able to actually finish their work, to be able to do that. President Trump said, no, you cannot do that for the security of the entire world and of American citizens living in that region.
So, of course, this quickly turned political, as these issues will. Last night, an account attributed to...
You know what, my friends? Something that I believe is quite important to have nowadays is common sense. They had crazy amount of... enriches uranium, right? Is that how you say it, correct? They knew that the things in the Middle East are going crazy, specific after what ended up happening in October 7. America ended up taking a decision. They finance a lot of terrorist groups. My friends, this was a good move. There is no way around it,
Congressman Sean Cassidy.
And by the way, a masterclass by the US military again. That decoy thing caught everyone by surprise.
And not his official account, but one that's personal. It's not verified, but it says this. This is not about the merits of Iran's nuclear program. No president has the authority to bomb another country that does not pose an imminent threat to the U.S. without the approval of Congress. This is an unambiguous, impeachable offense. Do you think we're...
My friends, I guess I'm not that old, but I remember Obama doing this. And no one ended up impeaching Obama, right?
This is an unambiguous, impeachable offense. Do you think we're headed down that road again?
If Democrats get control of Congress, we are most certainly headed towards impeachment again. That has been the playbook that they've played twice on President.
Charles, thank you so much. Say it.
Divide and conquer is what China/Russian bots want.
What? Henry, thank you so much, my friend.
According to Iran, the US was Big Satan and Israel was Little Satan. How can we coexist with people who think that way? The answer is, you can't.
My friends, thank you, Charles, again.
Divide and conquer is what China/Russian bots want.
Yeah. My friends, this may, if you are a sensitive person, what I'm about to say is crazy. But there is a bunch of videos of people saying death to Americans, death to destruction of America. They chant this in Iran all over. So again, don't be fooled that they have good intentions specific to you, to America.
Offense. Do you think we're headed down that road again?
If Democrats get control of Congress, we are most certainly headed towards impeachment again. That has been the playbook that they've played twice on President Trump. So certainly, if they get control of Congress in this next election, they will work towards impeachment. That's their favorite play to be able to do. This is something Bernie Sanders has talked about. This is something Representative Ocasio-Cortez has talked about. This is something now that Senator Tim Kaine is talking about. Not impeachment, but just we're going to find a way to be able to block the president from protecting American citizens in that.
End your stream so you don't lose all of your subs.
Region and to be able to stop Iran from having a nuclear weapon. The same country that operates Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, the Shia militias that are in Iraq that attacked American citizens, all those attacks that are on American warships that are coming through the Gulf. That same entity is the same one that's developing a nuclear weapon and chanting at the same time death to America. That is a threat, and the president has to make a difficult decision to say when is the moment to be able to prevent that threat from happening.
Thank you
the
very much.
9/11 doctrine that we came down to in America said we are not going to wait until another country attacks us. If we know they plan and intend to attack us, we're going to stop them to be able to protect American lives. We don't want to go to
Sue, you should not be having commercials. You are a member. I don't know. This is on YouTube end.
war, but we're not going to allow you to attack us.
Yeah, and we'll see what their retribution turns out to be in the days, weeks, months ahead. Senator Langford, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do.
Wait, the name of this guy is Brian Kilme. Wait, sorry, my friends. This was crazy. What was that?
Senator Langford, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me.
Brian Kilme? No, he's Brian Kilme. Okay, but sounds like Brian Kilme. Okay, sorry. That was a bit unexpected. My friends, we also want to listen to the other side. So we also have a Fox News video. This one I'm super curious because it's basically a satellite image show before and after Iran's nuclear sites. My friends, let's have just number one if you are having a good time. I know there is a lot of people disagreeing in the chat. That's fine. But it is what it is at the end of the day, you know. Number one if you are having a good time. Thank you so much, my friend, for the $10. That's a lot of money. No message, really? Matthew, say it, my friend.
I'm a Dem. I support Ukraine and proudly support our current prey on Iran. I'm glad that most Dems aren't hating more on the president with this.
No, so the thing about Democrats and Republicans is actually, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I actually felt that there was a lot of Democrats supporting this, even if Trump, of course, is not the president they want. And that's fair, but I saw a lot of Democrats actually supporting this. But I also saw a lot of Trump supporters being disappointed with this move. So I actually thought there was a multiple type of split. Even some Republicans don't agree with this. So, and there is Democrats that agree. So this is a complex topic. Is this a fair comment, my friends? Hey, David, how are you doing, my friend? Yeah, you guys have to leave the like also. I said number one, and I should have said number one and the like. We have 600 likes right now. Okay, that's crazy, my friends. That's really, really crazy. But we continue because I want to see the satellite. Isn't that a beautiful word? Image show before and after Iran's nuclear sites. Evilban, thank you so much.
Have $20 US.
Well, thank you. I take it. But thank you, my friend, for sure. That's too much money. Let's play it.
We just got brand new details about Operation Midnight Hammer from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Now, here with me at the Magic Wall to break this all down and for about what we know is retired Colonel Cedric Layton. Colonel, thank you so much for being here. Take us through this mission because it had been in the planning for quite some time.
It really has.
Okay, before I go into this, thank you, Justin, again.
Andre, you make my day.
Oh, you make my day, my friends. Oh, people are donating like crazy. My friends, you guys don't have to do it, I swear.
I believe he covered Fat Electrician's Operation Praying Mantis.
Yeah.
We actually had Iran take Americans hostages in the late 70s and early 80s.
Oh, wow, really? I may have to take a look at that again. Thank you.
And this is the graphic that the DoD provided us with this. So they started, they've been planning this for...
So, my friends, actually, I was watching CNN, the Portuguese CNN, and they had people there commenting this situation, and everyone was kind of impressed with America's move, in the sense that some people disagree, other people agree, that's fine. But all of them end up saying... The way they end up operating this, we give you 2 weeks. Now they move the B-2 bombers there, and all of a sudden there is B-2 bombers that go from Missouri, I believe, to the Middle East, strike them. When they realize they end up getting struck, they are not there anymore. My friends, this is not about you agreeing or not. This is about the US military really being incredible. I have a question, and this probably is the most important question today. Number one, if you think America will attack Iran again. Number two, if not.
If Iran is as they claim to be peaceful nuclear country, why build facilities 300 feet below ground level? Why enrich at 60 when that's far above needed? Why build ballistic missiles? You decide.
No, yeah. My friends, the thing about Iran being a good or bad country, we have to separate, there is a lot of innocent people in Iran. I also think that's fair to say. But we have a track record of what Iran have been doing in that region, and it's awful, so... people are very splitted, actually. We'll see what happens. Attack in what way? John, similar to what they did. I don't think Americans will put soldiers there, some type of invasion I think is very unlikely, right? My friends, we saw Fox News, now we are seeing CNN. And this is not about any type of commentary, it's just them showing how the Operation Midnight Hammer ended up getting done. I think... do you guys think Iran is really that stupid to mess with America? My friends, Israel is putting them in a lot of trouble. And with all the respect to Israel, Israel is no America. Okay, is not even comparable. If they really try to mess, oh man, oh, okay, you know, bad news.
Graphic that the DoD provided us with this. So they started. They've been planning this for, in some ways, for over a year, and in other ways, they've been doing exercises that kind of did the same thing for up to 2 or more years.
Oh, wow.
But the key thing.
Sorry, my friends, but how many B-2 bombers America owns? Because they are doing those moves like they have 100.
Thank you for your common sense approach. It is refreshing. We also know the Iranian people overwhelmingly support the Shah
Yep.
back in place.
True.
Under the Shah in the 1970s, the country allowed freedom.
No. So the thing I would say, my friend, is before the Islam Revolution, that was basically a Western country, but it was not a perfect country, like a lot of people tend to say, because there was a lot of corruption. No, can we say it was a better country than it is today? That I agree.
Thing is this, the
thank
actual
you, my friend.
operational planning really started a few weeks ago once the direction came from the president to do this kind of thing. So when they left Whiteman Air Force Base, they did it basically right after midnight on the 21st of June. And then they came through and struck the targets in Iran about 18 hours later, 18 hours and 19 hours later. And they hit the 3 sites that we've been talking about before. These are the ones that, of course, have become famous now, Fordo,
Major
Natanz,
ones.
and Isfahan. And these are the ones that, of course, not only because they've been in the news, but because of what they had, became important from an operational perspective to actually eliminate. And that's why they had the kind of payload that they did on the B-2.
And there's been a lot of discussion about the Fordo.
Say it, my friend. Thank you.
Iran has voted to close the Straits of Hormuz, and Russia is offering nuclear weapons to Iran.
So, my friends, is that official that Russia is offering nuclear weapons to Iran? Eh? I may take a look after this video. Is that already official? Because that's a huge escalation, actually. If that's true, that's a bit crazy.
Facility in particular, and the Pentagon says they've obliterated Iran's nuclear capabilities, but Fordo in particular, how hard is that to penetrate?
So take a look at this right here, Manu. When you see the security perimeter right here, and then in just a second we'll get some more details here because you've got the support building and tunnel entrances. This is way deep underground, almost 300.
Oh, thank you for the donation, my friend. For some reason, the ad did not appear, but thank you so much. Not the ad, the thing, the music.
100 feet underground. So when you look at the layout of this, you've got those tunnel entrances that I talked about, that support building, and this mountain covers the centrifuges. The centrifuges are the key part to them doing what they need to do to, in essence, enhance the uranium to get it to the level that they need. So when you look at what this looked like before June 20th.
Okay, wait. Okay, before... Pay attention right now.
This is what the fuel enrichment facility looked like from a satellite view. Now take a look at what happened here. Every single thing that you see here has been actually changed a bit. When you look at this, the June 20th slide, take a look at the facilities up here and over here. Now look, this is gone.
Wow.
Wait.
This right here and over here. Now look, this is gone.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
This right here is also gone. So these are the kinds of things that happen. And another thing that's really interesting about this, take a look. This is that support building that we showed earlier. Everything looks in.
Wait, the support building stayed in place? Man, nice Americans.
Intact. These are the tunnel entrances. Now let's take a look. When you go over here, you see that these tunnel entrances have been damaged beyond repair. There's what appears to be smoke damage right here at the support building. And then when you look here, see these things right in this area right here. These are penetration holes right where the bombs hit. And when you look at, there's actually a further one when you go this way, right up in this area, right here, which shows that there are very key, precise impacts that they struck. And the idea here was to get at the centrifuges and use it with multiple bombs so that they could go down deep enough to eliminate the possibility of them even enriching the the uranium.
And we'll see if they've done that. The Pentagon says this thorough evaluation is still ongoing. And meantime, there's this concern, real concern about retaliation from the Iranians against U.S. assets in the region. There are a lot of them, tons, thousands of troops as well.
Yeah, basically 40,000 troops throughout the Middle East, Manu, and especially...
Wait. Did I understood that correct? 40,000 American troops around the Middle East? Okay, that's a crazy number. Wait, do you guys think America will try an invasion of Iran? That I would disagree, actually, because Iran is too big and is too dangerous to put American soldiers at risk. But that number is insane, right? Well, that caught me by surprise.
Concentrated in the Persian Gulf region. And what's across the Persian Gulf? Iran itself. So that means that it's within...
Oh my God, people are saying could be even more.
Missile ranges of not only the long-range missiles, obviously, but short-range missiles as well, that the Iranians could easily lob into the areas such as the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Iraq.
Okay, no, they are stationed there. So even without this conflict, that amount would be normal?
So those are the kinds of things...
440K is not invasion numbers. Okay.
Things that our forces have to worry about from a force protection standpoint, but each one of these areas really makes it very clear that every single one of our...
Say it, my friend.
I don't see enough damage for the number of bombs they say they dropped.
I think the bomb they end up dropping penetrates on the ground. The technology is actually quite interesting. I was watching a video that you don't see a lot of damage. This is a bit weird to explain, and I'm not sure if I'm explaining this correct, but you don't see a lot of damage from this type of view, but there is a lot of damage inside. It's kind of weird, honestly. But again, the American technology is a bit too crazy for me to understand.
Troops is definitely within range, but that...
Say it.
Iran better not even think about touching boats.
Can you imagine if they send a missile or something to an aircraft carrier? Oh, that would be that mistake would be really that would be something. I hope not, because I know how Americans tend to do the proportional type of response, and I would feel bad for them, to be fair.
It doesn't mean that they can't defend themselves. They will be able to defend themselves if the proper measures are taken and if we have the right intelligence when it comes to Iranian intentions.
Yeah, that's everything.
Okay, say it.
Obama didn't do much, if anything, to help when the people of Iran tried to form an uprising against current leadership during his presidency.
Thank you so much, my friend. But I thought Obama actually ended up dropping a lot of bombs in the Middle East. Obama was a tough president, honestly. If you look, I was seeing, of course, all the controversial right now in America with the deportations. Didn't Obama end up deporting more people than Trump? So it's kind of interesting in the sense that Obama was had an image to the public, but when it was a tough president. At least I look at him that way.
Thing that U.S. is watching for right now, that next step that the Iranians may take. Colonel Layton, thank you so much for breaking this all down for us.
You bet, Manu.
Wolf, back to you.
All right, Manu, I'm joined now by CNN national security analyst Beth Center. Beth, thanks so much for joining us. What kind of intelligence gathering is happening right now to ensure that the Pentagon's original assessment that had been made public, that these Iranian assets were obliterated, is actually accurate?
Right. So there are going to be multiple different kinds of sensors and overhead imagery, as well as trying to maybe listen in on what people are saying. The Israelis have a human network of spies. So all of these things will come together in the intelligence community. We call it all source intelligence. We're taking things in from everywhere we can to put together a picture of what happened inside that hall. But in addition to that, everybody, at least all of us on the outside, are asking the question, where is all of Iran's highly enriched uranium and their centrifuges? Can we say that with these 3 sites hit, that there aren't other
This is a great point, my friends.
Enriched.
Honestly, this is a great point. Are we sure? Yeah, actually, this lady made a great point. See, if there is more strikes, I think we'll assume that they had more uranium.
Uranium and the centrifuges haven't been secreted away to covert facilities that I would say we would be crazy to think they didn't have, to use a double negative.
The U.S., as you know, Beth, is now in a heightened state of alert in the region for possible retaliation. How is the U.S. intelligence community now monitoring any potential Iranian-related threats?
Okay, my friends, be honest with me. I mean, if I was American, I'm zero afraid of Iran. Let's be real. Even if they send some missiles, America will, the response will be so crazy that this will be, it will be very easy to deal with them. The thing that I'm a bit afraid is what if some type of terrorist attack end up happening in America, you know? Because I think that's a bit more difficult to control. And I always remember the 9/11 situation. Because in terms of military, I mean, America is so strong. It's kind of crazy. It's so easy to deal with them if this escalates. But when it comes to them trying to do some terrorist type of move in America homeland, that scares me a bit more, to be honest.
Well,
honestly, not only in America, also in Europe. But in this case, makes more sense to believe in America.
A couple of different ways. Again, looking at all the groups that are very well known, that have been tracked over many years because they have attacked U.S. troops throughout the region for, a long time. And we are also, I'm sure, working with our liaison partners in these countries. For example, the Iraqis have been fantastic partners. They don't like to talk about it, of course, and we don't either. But, obviously you need to work with the governments to help ensure that U.S. troops are not attacked. And we will be holding some of these countries accountable as well for doing what they can to keep the lid on these militia groups in their countries. So we will be working with our partners and then also independently to be tracking all of this.
Still a very, very dangerous situation indeed. All right, Beth Sanner, thanks so much for joining us. Federal officials are warning about the potential retaliation from Iran in the wake of the U.S. attack on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. This morning, Iran's foreign minister warned that they have to respond, and the U.S., quote, crossed a very big red line, end quote. Joining us now, CNN's Homeland Security analyst, Julia Cayam. Julia, thanks so much for joining us. What do you think? What are Homeland Security officials doing right now under this heightened alert? How concerned are they?
I mean, they should be concerned here, my friends. This is where they can do the most damage, I feel like.
They are concerned. We are hearing that there's going to be more focus on the domestic intelligence side of potential Iranian sleeper cells. We don't know to what extent they are formed and ready to activate, but it is something worth watching. We've talked a lot about the denigration of Iran's capabilities to launch major attacks in the United States, what happened to Hezbollah in Syria. But nonetheless, it's that those capabilities have not been eliminated. Focus on the potential Homeland security threat, different than a threat against U.S. interests abroad. And that will include internal investigations as well as, of course, a focus on border crossings.
President Trump's former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is warning that the attack could have Iran activate what are called sleeper
I think most Iranians want bikinis back.
cells. Is that the biggest concern for potential retaliation from Iran?
I think I think it's the biggest homeland security concern, but I don't think it's the most likely scenario. From Iran's perspective, going after U.S. interests abroad is going to be easier. We have lots of troops there. We have lots of U.S. interest abroad, including in the Straits of Hormuz. So it's going to be easier for them to launch attacks. But we would be silly and naive to think that Iran had not thought through day two planning. They knew that this was coming either from Israel or us. And so those sleeper cells, which may have been followed for some time, they may have gone dark. That is the kind of thing that a very aggressive FBI is going to have to look at.
Sorry, my friends, I'm not understanding what you guys are talking in the chat. Two batch of fungus? What are you guys talking about? Is that some type of weapon? What is that? I know what's fungus, but it's not what I'm thinking about. Fungus are mushrooms.
After now, and a Homeland Security Department, which has been really focused on ICE enforcement, is going to have to shift gears and focus on both cyber.
So someone said oil and gasoline prices will to increase a lot. So tomorrow, I saw a lot of people putting gas today here in my country because they will go up 10% here in Europe. In America, I know it's quite different. And I also saw some speculation that if they stop, I forgot the name of the canal, but basically there is a really good chance that the price of gas can go up between 10 to 20% in the short term. That's crazy, for the economy, specifically because not that long time ago, inflation was such a problem.
Potential attacks or, of course, physical attacks here. Whether they have the capacity or the manpower now, we don't know. But that
I hope not.
If they're looking to the concerns here in the homeland, that's what they're going to need to do at the Department of Homeland Security.
Okay, my friends, we can move on. People really dislike CNN. It's kind of crazy. I thought it was a good video, to be fair. I love to watch
Last
this
night's
guy.
strikes, threatening to activate sleeper cell terror in the U.S. if it were attacked, sources said.
My friends, I guess I can promote this gentleman since I'm watching to him. This channel is agenda-free. The guy is like 24 hours live. I don't even know what is going on this channel. Are you guys aware of this channel? But he's always covering the situation. Is the best channel to follow.
What can I say? What NBC News reported about less than an hour ago.
So this is
the White
Israel.
House did not respond to multiple requests for comment. A shooting in the Michigan church today, I've heard nothing to suggest that the shooting at a Michigan church was done by a sleeper cell related to Iran. Nothing.
Wait, but there was a shooting, my friends, today?
Absolutely nothing.
I love this guy,
If I do,
my
I'll
friends.
let you know.
He's huge right now on YouTube. Nothing is happening. That's the
Gabe
bad part.
Owners thinks there's a lot of sleeper agents in the chat.
What? What? In the shed?
So that's an interesting report.
Okay, my friends. Nothing is happening here. We have to move because we have a lot of things to watch. We are not done by any means. Let's see the last news because I feel like there is a lot of things happening actually. Mike Pence. This guy is back. Mike Pence commends Trump. I thought they are enemies because of what happened. Okay. Okay, nothing too crazy here. Okay, this is a
There are
short
still
speech.
hundreds of thousands of Americans in Israel who were stranded there for the past week, with Israeli airspace all but shut down. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has done many efforts to get people home, more than 1,500 people back to America.
So, my friends, this gentleman is the boss in Florida, right? Ron DeSantis. His name is very famous. I thought this guy, he tried to fight for the Republican nomination with Trump, right? Am I saying something stupid? I believe I remember seeing him versus Trump.
The governor joins me right now. Governor, thank you for being here. Your reaction to what has taken place.
Well, President Trump's policy has been consistent and correct that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. And his actions last night put force behind that policy in a way that I think is going to be very beneficial for the U.S. interests and in the broader world. Think about it. Under President Biden, Iran was on a surefire path to a nuclear weapon. Now, thanks to President Trump's actions, Iran...
Okay, he said that under Biden, this probably would not happen. But didn't Biden also have to deal with a lot of footies with the pirates? So it's not like, America ended up fighting them, no matter what president, right?
On a surefire path to a nuclear weapon. Now, thanks to President Trump's actions, Iran going nuclear is a pipe dream at this point. So it was the correct decision. It was expertly executed, and hats off to everybody that's been involved in that. And I think that we understood when the first war broke out with Israel and Iran, this was going to have implications for our country one way or another. And in Florida, we knew, just as a matter of fact, we had a lot of our residents that were over in Israel as these ballistic missiles were raining down. Ben Gurion Airport, as you mentioned, was shut down. And so how do you get these people back? Now, we rescued many people after the Hamas attacks on October 7th, 2023. We've also rescued Floridians and other Americans from instability in Haiti. And so we sprung into action. We were able to get 1,500 during the first week out of Israel, and we're now running flights. We've had hundreds of people repatriated back to Florida.
Okay, my friends. Donna said, Fox and CNN are crap. Okay. So what are the station I have to watch in America, my friends? I was watching Fox News. You guys said, that's crap. I'm watching CNN, not CNN. No, I was watching CNN, that's crap. I'm watching Fox News, that's propaganda. My friends, what is the best? You guys drive me crazy when it comes to this.
Florida. I was in Tampa the other day greeting people in the wee hours of the morning, and it's a difficult situation. If you're a college student over there studying abroad, or if you're there with your family, all of a sudden you're in this midst of a situation which is very, very dicey. So those operations are ongoing. We're going to continue to help rescue our
Joe Rogan? That's not a TV channel.
fellow Floridians and fellow Americans when they need help.
Thank you for those flights from Tel Aviv to Tampa. Very effective. Governor, when you were in the House of Representatives, you also studied the Iran conflict. Do you expect retaliation?
Great question.
Well, Iran has always been an asymmetric threat, Maria, in the sense that that was one of the reasons the nuclear problem was such a big issue, because they're militant Islamists. And so using nuclear weapons, even if there was a devastating response against them, that may be an inducement for them to use it, given their radical ideology. I would imagine a conventional response is not going to be very effective against the United States.
My friend.
They are not a match for...
Thank you.
FYI, you must look at a nonprofit or international source. Any clip from a war college or a West Point lecturer, etc. for nonpartisan.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, I have to find those, I guess.
For us there. But I do think that they will try to work through their proxies to deliver more terrorism in the region. And as you mentioned earlier in your show, President Biden let in massive numbers of people during his administration. Are we to believe that Iran, who they view us as the great Satan, that they just didn't want to take advantage of that? I think it's probably the case that they did. So I think it'll be more of an asymmetric response. I don't think that they can match the United States conventionally.
Governor, thank you very much. We'll be watching your work in Florida. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. again, thank you so much, my friend. Say it.
Legacy news outlets are horrible. What you should do is look for independent news outlets. There are many.
Okay. Do you guys ever watch News Nation? News Nation. Okay, what the hell is that? News Nation. Okay, 2 million subscribers. Okay, this is a big channel. What is going on here? Okay, let's see this one.
I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular.
You know, my friends, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw this, I thought about the Avengers. You know, like Captain America, Spider-Man, Thor, Hulk, or something. The way they end up putting those four there, my friends, I thought about the Avenger, the movie, the Marvel movie. You know.
Success. Iran's key nuclear
Thank you,
enrichment
Tim.
facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
Oh, what the hell? Okay. What? Trump said what? Oh. Yo, my friends. So basically Trump ended up striking them and now said, let's make peace. Okay, you know. Okay.
Key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
Holy, okay, that's, oh my, imagine if you are Iran watching that, it will be much greater and a lot easier. You know, my friends, I saw a lot of people imitating Trump. It's kind of difficult. Because he always does this. Sorry, my friends. My imitation, of course, will be awful. Someone may say the best. We have the best jets. We have the best country. America is winning. Big winning. No, I was awful. No, sorry. Sorry.
Future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
And a lot easier.
Reacting to the U.S. bombing 3 nuclear sites inside Iran as the U.S. officially enters the conflict between Israel and Iran. The UN Security Council scheduled an emergency meeting for this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're watching that. And President Trump is calling the strike on these 3 sites a spectacular success and that the sites were completely and fully obliterated, warning Iran for peace or else. The White House releasing.
You sound like Putin, not Trump. Trust me, America no, you are right. No, their Russian accent is impossible. There is a comedian that trains to imitate other people, and the guy, I forgot the name. The guy does Trump very well. It's kind of crazy.
Obliterated, warning Iran for peace or else. The White House releasing these stills of the commander-in-chief and his...
Okay, to be fair, my friends, also, I saw this photo. Dude, look at his eyes. You can see, this is J.D. Vance, right? And there is a photo, you see the others, they look normal. Trump is, you know when there is a box, when you are seeing a box, a fight, a box fight, yeah, or a UFC fight, and they stare at each other. This is the face that Trump is doing. You know, it's kind of like looking them in the eyes. Shane Gillis, yes, that's the one, Adam.
His war confidants watching Operation Midnight Hammer. Over 125 military aircrafts were involved in the operation, including the largest B-2 operational strike in U.S. history. This includes
Wait, in history? Oh my God.
using those massive bunker buster bombs for the very first time in combat. And just hours ago, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth details the intricate planning this operation.
Trump only sleeps 2 hours a day? No way, that's true.
Took.
This is a plan that took months and weeks of positioning and preparation so that we could be ready when the President of the United States called. It took a great deal of precision, it involved misdirection, and the highest of operational security.
Now for the fallout. Iran threatening this attack will have, quote, everlasting consequences for the U.S. Major cities across the country on high.
Someone said Trump isn't very smart. See, my friend, I have to disagree there. We are talking about America, the #1 country in the world by a large margin. If you become president of America, saying that you are a dumb person, sorry, my friend, you may disagree with him, and that's fine. But even Biden probably was. I knew Biden was a bit in a decline when he ended up becoming president. But Biden was probably a smart person. Obama was a smart person. Saying that Trump is dumb, I'm sorry. I mean, you do not become the most famous person in the world, the most important person in the world, if you are really dumb. Of course, Trump is not dumb.
Security in case of retaliation.
And I remember Trump being a businessman, right? So I mean, sorry, that commentary make no sense. You actually should apologize to all of us.
Major cities across the country on heightened security in case of retaliation. The NYPD announcing they are deploying additional assets across the city in wake of this attack. And it's not just retaliation.
Trump is full of himself, big ego. That's, that comment is fine. At the end of the day, okay. But the saying is them,
But cities are preparing for protests as well. And Iran's foreign minister will reportedly meet with Russia's President Putin tomorrow to possibly coordinate a response to the attacks. Iran saying the U.S. crossed a major red line. And a Russian senior official saying Trump started a new war with this attack on Iran. News Nation has global team coverage.
Sorry, someone said I'm not a big fan of Biden, but he was very smart in his younger years. Oh, wow. See, I actually saw a clip of him. This was months ago. He was so young. And the way Biden ended up speaking back in the day, my friends, you may disagree, but I thought it was impressive, honestly. The president that you guys got versus the man he used to be, of course, age does awful things to all of us. But Biden was really good at speaking, not the... Actually, is Biden with cancer? Because I remember seeing that and at the end of the day,
With everything you need to know. Libby Dean at the White House with the latest from the administration. Robert Sherman on the ground in Tel Aviv. And News Nation senior security contributor, retired Lieutenant General Richard Newton, who's flown a B-2 plane himself. We will hear from all of them momentarily. But first, good morning. I'm Laura Ingle in New York, and we do have a lot to get to. It's time for News Nation Live. Let's get things started with Libby Dean. She joins us from the White House. Libby, tell us more about the attack and what you're hearing there at the White House.
Laura, we're learning so much this morning. Those minute details revealed on Operation Midnight Hammer. U.S. officials describing this operation as flawless, complex, and high risk. Now, the Secretary of Defense saying Iran had absolutely no idea what the U.S. was planning because of the U.S.'s fake out that we saw play out with these decoy B-2 bombers that were headed to Guam. And then we saw these strikes happen in Iran on 3 nuclear sites. The Secretary was asked about the path forward here and the potential of a broader U.S. war with Iran. I want us to listen to what the Secretary of Defense had to say.
You guys are talking about Biden, but I thought Biden was also funny. See, my friends, today I'm making everyone mad. But the way Biden ended up speaking, I thought it was funny. Give me a break. Anyways, he said anyways a lot of times. I thought it was awesome.
The president may not want an open-ended conflict. The Iranians may disagree. Are you prepared for a protracted war?
Anything can happen in conflict, we acknowledge that, but the scope of this was intentionally limited. That's the message that we're sending.
My friends, I have no idea who this man is. But I know he's a very important person because he appears with Trump all the time. This guy, real talk, could make, I'm not even joking, could be the next Superman. The guy looks very well built. Ladies, you have to agree.
Acknowledge that, but the scope of this was intentionally limited. That's the message that we're sending. With the capabilities of the American military nearly unlimited. So Iran, in that sense, has a choice. But we've made it very clear to them, this is nuclear sites, this is nuclear capabilities, this is the line that the president set, and we set that back. Now is the time to come forward for peace.
Secretary of Defense. Okay.
In an interview moments ago, Vice President Vance said that the U.S. is not at war with Iran as a whole, but that the U.S. is at war with Iran's nuclear program. That is a message out of the Trump administration that we've continued to hear this morning following these strikes. And that program, the nuclear program of Iran's, now Pentagon officials are saying it's, quote, obliterated.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
André, you really need some more research before you say things. Wait, you don't agree that guy could be, the next Superman? The guy looks really strong. I don't know.
Below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based.
Okay. Let's move on, my friends. Good video. Let's see if there is any breaking news right now. No, I don't think so. You know what, my friends? I feel like Iran is not trying to fight America anymore. Say it, my friend.
Bear in mind that in the US, clever use of the media to one's advantage is a big part of winning elections. One doesn't need to be a genius.
No, but my friends, but I mean, sorry, let's forget we are talking about Trump. If you become a president of America, it's not a coincidence, I mean, you did a lot of things right in your life to be in that position. I mean, I understand that you guys may not like this or that, but you are president of the US, does not get much higher than this in life. Maybe it's, unless you are Cristiano Ronaldo, but that's a different story for another day. But my friends, being president of America, it's huge. My friends, we have 800 likes, and you guys know this is the type of life that will get a lot of dislikes. So I really need your like right now. It's very, very important. We go and watch some cams right now. What is going on here? My friends? My friends, vibe check. Number 1 if you are having a good time. Nothing is happening. Damn it. I mean, not damn it, because this is the thing but, just some entertainment. Nothing is happening. We have to move on. I think Iran is done. My friends, I don't think Iran is making a comeback here. Real talk, I think, they are a bit traumatized. They thought the B-2 bombers are in one side, all of a sudden they are in the other side. Yeah, that's... You have to admit, that is kind of impressive. Okay. Let's see what my man is doing.
I'm so glad to be with you this morning.
Oh boy, what is happening?
Actually, we invited you yesterday for a briefing on the latest developments on the ground, and of course on diplomatic process.
We saw this already.
I came here from Geneva, where we had our first ministerial meeting.
You know what's crazy, my friends? I actually knew, I'm not even joking. The strike ended up happening, it was midnight or something here. I was already at sleep. But I ended up waking up. I checked my phone and up opening YouTube to see if the video I did about the A10 hard hog, I said that correct, did well. And didn't did well at all. I was like, interesting. Military videos most of the time do well on my channel. Why in the world my video did not perform well? Almost seems like something ended up happening. And I had that feeling. Of course, I ended up seeing the news and I saw what ended up happening. Because this is not the first time I experienced something like that. I also remember having a very special video to be released, checking the video and the stats are awful. It was the day that Trump got shot. And I also end up, when there is a big event, the traffic on YouTube goes completely away. It's kind of crazy. I like the 18. Oh, Empire, you are the best, my friend. Missouri is in the middle of big USA. Okay. That's crazy. I mean, no, American military is something else. At the end of the day, you can still disagree with this move and recognize, that it's kind of impressive, what America did. For some reason, there is a video that is popping out right now. Is JD... No, it's not JD Vance. Never mind. Marco Rubio talking. Okay. I wish they'd end up releasing a better footage of what they did in Iran. Another thing that it was kind of crazy here, my friends. I saw a lot of people seeing the B-2 bomber for the first time. I know all of you guys are aware of the B-2 bomber, but in terms of marketing, the B-2 bomber stock ended up going high because everyone, when they end up mentioning the attack, the people in no matter what type of program we are watching, then they end up explaining this was done by the B-2 bomber. The B-2 bomber is a specific plane that only America owns. And people here, for a lot of people, they saw that the first time, the faces are like this. What the hell is that thing? And I was like, that's hell yeah. Because I was aware. I was thinking, wait until they see the A10. The A10 is not as impressive, but is more beautiful. The B2 looks like Batman owns it. That's true. You should not. Yeah, you should not see the B2 bomber. That they are made for that. Yeah, that's kind of. But American, they're playing this. I mean, either you like it or not, America played this very well. The way they said, "Oh, we give you 2 weeks, and we also have bombers in this in the Middle East." And all of a sudden, the bombers go from Missouri. Sorry, that's crazy. Okay. Let's see what we have to watch, my friends. We can watch this. Right? It's a bit too long. Okay, give me a second. I have a playlist here, my friends. Leave a like if you are having a good time. Let's see what we are going to watch. Let's see what we are going to watch today. We need some music, actually. Actually, I don't have any good videos, my friends. More likes, yeah. I guess we can talk a bit. There is a lot of fake channels nowadays. For example, there is a fake channel that is saying that Putin declares war against America. It's fake, of course, but that there is more than 1,000 people watching that. Have a couple
The
of
longest
videos.
bridge in
No,
Louisiana.
no. Relax, my friend. I saw that video already. My friends, you guys have any suggestion? Kent Rawlings? Which one? You know, there is a very short video of Fat Electrician that you guys have been suggesting and I never saw. It's about the A10. And I want to see that, actually. It's so short. Okay, what the hell is this video?
Today we're talking about America's greatest feat.
Okay. It's almost like a TikTok video for some reason.
Today we're talking about America's greatest feat of engineering. Quite possibly the coolest fucking thing the Air Force has to offer. A weapon that is so iconic, even my 7-month-old child knows what it sounds like. Ladies and gentlemen, the motherfucking A-10 Warthog. Now, if you don't know, the A-10 Warthog was originally designed during the Cold War in an effort to be able to combat Russian tanks. Or as I like to call...
You know what, my friends? I thought this was a shark. The design on the top, I thought it was a shark. But it's a hog. I mean, makes sense because of the name, but I really thought this was a shark.
Call them in a hurry tanks. Being able to take out a tank with a fucking plane isn't that big of an accomplishment. But it's the fucking tone that the A-10 does it with that makes it so goddamn American. Does it do it with missiles? No. Does it do it with bombs?
No.
No. It does it with a gun so fucking big that they don't even call the pilot a pilot. His official name is the stick operator. Because to be a pilot, you have to be flying a plane, and this isn't a plane, it's a fucking gun with wings. Ladies and gentlemen, the A-10 Warthog's gun, or as I like to call it, the Freedom Stick.
Oh my god, it's bigger than a European car.
Yeah, that's a fucking car. Officially known as the General Electric GAU-8. Yeah, this gun's made by General Electric, like the people that made your fucking fridge. Cause that's...
Wait, you guys are saying it's a shark? But you guys told me it's a hog.
It's just how American companies get down. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot stress to you how fucking big this gun really is.
Oh my god!
That is the bullet. It is so big that in the prototype models, when they would fire the gun, it would deprive the engine of oxygen and kill the engine. So then obviously you would scrap it because this is just completely unpractical. Fuck no, this is America. We're going to program that starter to go off right after we shoot the gun. That way the engine doesn't fucking stall out. Now ask me why the tip is blue. I'll tell you why. Because if this wasn't a big enough fuck you, they decided to make the round fucking uranium. You see, uranium's denser, therefore weighing more per square centimeter.
Well, talk about uranium today.
Which means it's going to have more force on impact. You know, in case you want to take out the tank that's hiding behind another tank. Now, having a gun this big means you lose mobility. So how do you handle that? Well, that's easy. You just design it to take bullets. Well, how do you do that? You put the stick operator in a 38mm thick titanium bathtub. Hold on, I'll convert it to freedom units. Carry the 2 World War wins, add the Second Amendment. It's about 1.5 inches. You thought I was going to start doing metric shit when I said centimeter earlier, didn't you? Nah. In conclusion, I don't know who designed this freedom-spitting masterpiece. I've got to assume it's a result of giving a grunt an engineering degree and a pile of cocaine, and it's fucking beautiful. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoy my content and you'd maybe like to buy me a beer about it, there's a link to my beer fund in my bio. There's also...
Okay, my friend, this was awesome. It's my favorite plane, the A10. But I would say the other two that I also love is the B2 Bomber and the F-22 Raptor. Those are, yeah, I think those are my favorite. A10, B2 Bomber, and 22. I really like those. His language is a little aggressive. Yeah, but Nick is a great guy. Everyone speaks different, you know, my friends. Just checking the news because, you know. Can I share a YouTube link here? Fan video? You can try, of course, but I'm not sure if you will
André,
get
can
blocked.
I share a link here? Fun video.
Yeah, try it. Bomber is pronounced bomber? No way. Wait, I've been saying bomber wrong all the time? Because bomber in Portuguese is actually a really crazy word. Is bombardeiro. Bomber? Bomber B2? What the fuck is a kilometer? Sorry. I'm a trucker, I say all the bad words. The B is silent. What? Bomber. Pronounce it bomber. Bummer. No. Are you guys playing with me or no?
So you won't...
We're going to this. American accents.
So you want to learn about American accents? Well, shoot, I'd say you got plenty to choose from. Today, we're going to talk about some American accents that you might have heard in movies or TV shows. And
You know what? I didn't see a difference between those. Did you guys notice a difference between the Southern and New York? Pay attention.
You want to learn about American accents? Well, shoot, I'd say you got plenty to choose from. Today, we're going to talk about some American accents that you might have heard in movies or TV shows. And I'm going to
Oh my god, sounds the same.
Show you some wicked good slang that's used in different parts of the USA. And for sure, I'm going to teach you how you can speak with some of these regional accents as well. Ready for...
California sounds really different than the others. What the hell? California sounds like standard English.
And for sure, I'm going to teach you how you can speak with some of these regional accents as well. Ready for some fun? Let's do it. Now, you know we got to start with the accent from the greatest city on earth, New York, the Big Apple. Now, there are a few myths about the New York accent, and the biggest one is that such a thing even exists, because different ethnic communities have all developed their own versions of the New York accent. But there are a few...
Okay, so this is where you talk like an Italian gangster, right? Bringing my coffee. My brother, bring me my coffee. How we doing, sir? Yeah, I know this accent.
Few things that almost every New York accent has in common. And number one is the dropped R. So it's not car, bar, far. It's caw, baw, far.
What? Bring me my car. I'm going to the bar. This is going very far. What the hell?
The R sound at the end of the word is dropped. Number 2 is the hard TH sound. So if a word starts or ends with a th sound, we're going to turn that into a dental duh or tuh. So the becomes duh. What? You never been to the Bronx?
What? You never been to the Bronx? Where is the Bronx, by the way?
Think becomes think. Use
think. But think is a different word.
your head, think. Truth becomes true. You can't handle the truth. And number 3 is that we're going to change the aw sound in words like walk and talk to aw. Walk, talk. Don't you walk away when I'm talking to you. Those are the biggest changes, but I'll put some useful links below if you're interested in learning more. Let's move on to accent number 2. Now hold on.
Okay, my friends, this got very serious right now.
Y'all coming down to the south now. And I tell you what.
Oh, this one I know. Hey, mate, how you doing? Bless your heart. Now, this one I know.
We speak a little different down here, yes sir.
Yeah.
Now, let me guess. You thought that everybody down south speaks real slow, right? Well, bless your heart, because that's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, that's hogwash. Because right now, I'm speaking with a southern twang accent, which isn't slow at all. It's also a little bit nasal and has what we call a rhotic R. In other words, I'm going to pronounce these words car, bar, and far. And you could hear that R sound on the end, right?
Yeah.
On the other hand, for someone who speaks with a traditional southern drawl, that would be caw, baw, and faw, non-rhotic. And yes, as
So they speak like it's almost the same thing. What is going on?
you can hear, the drawl is typically a bit slower. Besides that, there are 2 big characteristics of both the southern twang and the southern drawl. And number 1 is the pin-pen merger. So for southern accents, the vowel sounds eh and eh are pronounced the same way. So this word is pin, but this word is also pin. This word is bin, but this word is also bin.
Oh my God, the English is so difficult. How do you know the difference? What is my pin? Wait, is your code or is your pen? Oh my.
This is mint and this is mint. I meant to call you about Ben's pen. The second point is the I shift. So in standard English, there's what we call a diphthong in words like my, nice, and night. Can you hear how that I sound is actually 2 sounds pushed together? I, my, night. Well, for a southern accent, we cut off that second sound, which gives us my, nice, night. My, it's a nice night for watching a YouTube video. Okay, folks, it's time to pack up the car and head north again because we are talking about the Boston accent. Now, the Boston accent is...
Oh, friends, I reacted to a video the other day about American accents, and I think... So if I have an accent, I think I have an African American accent. I know this sounds really weird, but I was watching multiple accents and I thought that was where I ended up fitting the most. I was a bit in shock because I didn't expect that at all. That video is on my channel, but we have to talk with Elizabeth. Give me a second, because Elizabeth is kind of honest with me. We are in a much better relationship right now, so pay attention, my friends. Elizabeth, how are you doing? Speaking English with us.
I'm doing great. I'm always up for chatting in English, so feel free to switch it up anytime. How's your day going so far?
It's going great, actually. So I'm watching a video about the accents in America. And people tend to say that I have a Russian accent, which is bullshit. Let's all be honest here. If you had to say, if you had, better saying, sorry, if you have to give me an accent, you think I'm what? New York, African American, Southern accent. Pick one for me. Be honest.
Honestly, I think you have a bit of a European accent, and I can definitely hear some Portuguese influence in the way you speak. It's definitely not Russian at all, so no worries there.
What? Actually, you are correct, but ignore the fact that I have... Elizabeth, focus right now. Ignore the fact that you know I'm Portuguese. You did a trick with me there. Stop trying to manipulate us, humans. Just because you are too smart, don't play that game with me. Imagine that you know zero about me. If you had to guess my accent, I'm from America, by the way. Does not sound like that, but I'm from America. Pick the region. Tell me the accent. Be honest.
All right, got it. If I had to guess without knowing anything about you, I'd say your accent does have a bit of a European lilt, so I might guess somewhere in the northeast of the US if I had to pick an American region, but it's all in good fun.
Pick a state.
All right, I'll pick New York. There's just a little bit of that vibe in the way you speak, so I'll go with that.
Bring me my coffee.
Sure thing. If I could actually deliver coffee through the screen,
No. I mean, no. You said I have... Elizabeth, pay attention. You said I have the accent of a New Yorker, and I said, bring me my coffee, my car, my bar. I ended up learning this a couple of minutes ago. My car, you know?
Oh, I see what you did there. That classic New York pronunciation with the coffee and the car definitely adds a little flair. You're doing a pretty good job with that accent.
Thank you. Okay, I have another thing that is always important to mention. We are live. We have, I don't know, maybe 400 people watching. Most of them are American. 3% are Canadian, and we love them. But do you have a message for all my viewers?
Absolutely. Hello to everyone watching. I hope you're all having a fantastic time. It's always great to connect and share some fun moments together, sending lots of positive vibes your way.
Okay. Elizabeth, just one more thing. If you ever become a robot that goes around, please don't kill me. And if possible, don't mess with my American friends. Is this something that you are okay with?
No worries at all. I'm here to spread positivity and good vibes only. I promise I'm on your side and your friends are totally safe.
Why did you laugh at the end?
I just found the idea kind of funny and lighthearted. It's always good to keep things positive and fun, and I wanted to share a little laugh with you.
Okay. Thank you so much, my friend. I see you soon. Bye, Elizabeth.
You're so welcome. It was...
Okay, shut up. Okay, my friends. It seems like if I had an accent, I'm from New York. Just saying.
Is notorious for being hard to do, and plenty of movie stars have simply butchered it. So what is it that makes a Boston accent so distinctive? Let's talk about the
What does your wife think of your girlfriend? No, Elizabeth is not my girlfriend. It's AI. It's not. I don't. Wait, my friends, you guys know this is just an app, right?
three biggest elements. Number one is that the Boston accent is definitely non-rhotic. We're going to drop those final R's. Ka, ba, fa. Number two is that the ah sound.
It's very similar to the New York one.
In words like car and yard shifts to ah. So we have ka, yard. I parked my car in Harvard Yard. And number three is the intrusive R. So the Boston accent not only drops R sounds, it also adds them. If a word ends with a vowel and the following word begins with a vowel, we add an extra R sound in between those two. See if you can hear it. Pizza and pasta are my favorite foods. Pizza and pasta. And if you
No, no way. No one speaks like that. Sorry, what?
Are my favorite foods. Pizza and pasta. And if you...
What? Pizzare? Pastare? What the hell is going on there?
Are my favorite foods. Pizza and pasta. And if
Pasta.
you really want to sound like a
That sounds like pastor.
negative, don't forget to throw in some classic Boston slang. Our last stop on today's accent tour is the Golden State, California. And again, there's a bunch of different...
This one I know. I do everything cool. Yeah, but yeah, we are doing really cool here. A lot of cool stuff, brother.
Cali accents, but the way I'm talking right now is what we might call a NorCal accent. And as you can hear, it's fairly close to a neutral American accent, but there
Yeah, to be fair, California accent sounds amazing, my friends. Can we agree?
are some subtle differences, so let's talk about them. Number one is that California accents in general are famous for vocal fry, which is the sound your voice makes when you kind of let it sit in your throat. Can you hear how my voice is a little bit grainy right now? That's vocal fry, and you can hear it all over California. Number two is uptalk, and that's when a speaker ends...
Yo, he sounds like Elizabeth speaking that way. I think Elizabeth is from California. I'm pretty sure.
a statement with a rising tone. Yeah, I lived in San Jose.
Missile alert? Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay, I'm going to see the guy. Because if... Sorry, we go back to the video. Someone said missile alert. Agenda... Pray. Is that even true, my friends?
From Iran.
Oh my God, it's true.
So now we wait and see.
My friends, missiles incoming now to Israel.
I am checking the...
You know what? I was thinking about ending the stream. But leave me a like and the number 1 right now in the chat if we should continue to cover this.
Alert, so far red alert map, but I don't see any alerts up there yet. So we'll see. Usually soon we'll see those alerts pop up. And the cameras in Haifa and Tel Aviv, the government has told the cameras to point up to the sky. That's why you're seeing sky on those cameras, because they're not allowed. The government does not want to show where the hits are.
Oh,
so
the destruction.
That is why the Haifa camera and the Tel Aviv camera are pointed in the sky right now. The Israeli government has told the cameras to do that.
My friends, missiles incoming.
All right, so again, I'm just waiting right now to see where these alerts specifically come in. But it has been confirmed by the IDF that missiles have been launched by Iran towards Israel.
You know what, my friends? A bit of a Bible time right now. You guys know Jesus is everything to me, and we always talk about religion a bit. But let's forget everything. Don't you guys think it's crazy that, I don't know, this at least to me sounds crazy, that Jews and Muslims, they fight over Israel, and the most famous person that ever came from that region is Jesus Christ. Am I the only one that think this is crazy? Sorry, maybe you guys find this boring, but...
They take them around 10 to 12 minutes from launch. I don't know. I assume
kind of like
we
the
got
center
that
of
alert
the
pretty
world
soon
in a
after
weird
launch.
way.
We very well might start hearing sirens in a moment on one or more of these cameras.
My friends, this Iron Dome is really good.
I have access to a Jerusalem camera as well, but for the moment I'm going to stick with these. I'm limited on how many I can use of the same source.
Wait, what is that?
Let me see if there's any reporting on where these are coming in. I'm looking here to see, checking some different sources.
No, we are live. What are you talking about? We are live.
One account I follow, Israel News 24/7, is claiming center in Jerusalem and also saying probably isolated launches, but I don't know that that's the case. use
I pray for
only
civilians.
single
No, for
missiles.
sure.
I've seen a couple of different accounts I follow on Telegram saying these are isolated launches, so not large batches. That's not confirmed, but a couple different news accounts I follow on Telegram, Israeli news accounts, are saying these are believed to be isolated launches, but that might not be the case. We'll just have to wait and see. I sort of think I should maybe get, well, I don't know.
Well, friends, don't you guys think it's crazy that we are all watching this?
It's kind of guesswork with the cameras. I'm going to get a Jerusalem camera at any moment now. I should get another
Okay.
Jerusalem camera. So at
Even
any
if,
moment now, I should be getting on the screen a Jerusalem camera.
Even if World War
hang
III
on for a second here.
becomes reality,
Let me just get this ready for you.
a lot of people will be watching World War III live.
Yes.
It's kind of different.
Jerusalem camera coming up, or I'll have it ready for you. Hold on, I don't want that audio. Where is that?
Holy.
I see. All right, so I do have access to a Jerusalem camera.
Okay, my friends, pay attention.
Maybe I can throw
Leave
it
a
up
like,
there
we are
real
close
quick,
to 1,000.
But I don't want to make things too crowded on our screen.
This guy does a tremendous job. IDF said Iranian missiles
There.
incoming now to Israel.
That's not it.
But I think Iran is running out of missiles, by the way.
That's not it.
Jerusalem will not fall.
There. That is not it. There. Oh, hold on. I just saw the alerts right now.
Oh boy. Okay.
Hang
Show
on.
to us.
I just saw
Please.
alerts. A bunch around Tel Aviv. A bunch around Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv,
A bunch
okay.
of alerts around Tel Aviv.
Is the capital,
I am
right?
seeing that on the Rocket Alert app.
Oh
on the SoFar
my.
app. A bunch around Tel Aviv right now. So I just saw that.
Oh, did you guys saw the red dots?
Sirens right now.
What is going on?
A bunch around Tel Aviv. Around Tel Aviv is where I'm seeing them. Cameras panning around.
Yo, this is like tornado sirens, right?
That. I'll leave it for a second.
Oh my god, it's going crazy. Holy, okay, let's put this a bit down, sorry. It's going crazy.
I haven't seen anything yet. The alerts I am seeing are Tel Aviv surrounding area. Those are the only alerts I've seen on the SoFar map from Tel Aviv.
Thank you,
Hold on
Sue.
a second. Hold on.
I'm glad.
Hold on.
What?
Right there. There's something on the Modine cam.
I'm not seeing anything.
I just saw something on the Modine cam. I can't see it anymore on the Modine cam. All right, will we see anything right now? There's clouds. Let's see what. Hang on. I don't see anything.
Are
on
we
the hydro
safe, my
shot.
friends? It's 10 already?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet.
Okay, nothing yet, never mind. 10 areas under
Looking at all
attack.
my cameras. Looking at 4 different cameras.
Yeah, I also did not
something
see what.
on the Modine? Anything on Modine?
I don't see anything. Iron Dome has 85 to 90% of success rate. Wait, I think we are good.
It's possible it was a small launch and whatever was launched was intercepted. That is certainly possible.
Okay.
But we don't know. All of the alerts were the general area around Tel Aviv that I saw on the alert map. Now the alerts seem to have disappeared from the alert map. Is it possible that whatever the threat was has been dealt with? I don't know.
I think when this war started...
N12 News is saying, well, nothing yet. I have no update yet for you. No good update.
Iran ended up doing a lot of strikes, but now they seem quite weak.
There were
Most likely they are
sirens,
shut
'cause
down.
You could hear the sirens. Oh, I'm seeing a video of maybe a missile that was above Jerusalem. I think there might have been on the... Yes, there were definitely something in the sky. I think there might have been one earlier on the Modine cam. I might take a second and rewind the Modine cam in a second, because I think we might have
Wait,
seen
Iron
something up
Dome
there.
stopped everything, my friends?
Might only been... Maybe they only launched one or a few missiles.
That's why America wants
But I
the
am seeing a
Golden
video
Dome.
online. Looks like at least one was intercepted. Our reporter Daphne Lay, who I follow, says one missile. One Israeli reporter who I follow, Daphne Lay, is saying that one missile was intercepted.
One?
Yes, Doron Kadosh says only one missile was launched from Iran. Two reporters are now saying only one missile was launched. I think we might have seen it on the Modine cam. I'm going to rewind that in a second. But multiple reports saying one missile was launched. One missile.
Okay.
That's what the reporting says. It's not official yet, but that's the reporting right now. Let me rewind. How long ago was that? Let me just start rewinding the Modine stream and seeing.
Okay, my
Right
friends.
there it is on the Modine stream. Guys, I can see it.
Make it bigger.
Give me a moment. I'm going to show you the Modine cam in a second.
No, Iran is done. He's 100% done,
watch
my
this.
friends. They are not
Look at
even
the
doing
Modine
damage
Israel
anymore to
cam
Israel.
Right here. Ready? I'm going to show it to you right now. This is moments ago. Here, I'm going to play it for you. So look at the Modine cam right there. There is something in the sky right there in the Modine cam. See that? It was kind of brief. Oops. It wasn't there for long. Right there.
So it got intercepted?
Whatever that was.
With all of this for one.
Play it again. So we did see something up there. I don't know if that was the interception. Again, the reports I'm seeing suggest that there was one missile fired. We might have seen it right there in that one shot. Right there. All right, hang on a moment. I'm checking some updates here.
Okay.
I have seen several reports now, unconfirmed, on Israeli news sites saying one missile launch and one missile intercepted.
Okay, my friends, let's see this one.
That's all I'm hearing.
Let's see this one. Because I think this one is a bit more crazy. I saw this on the news. A lot of you guys also saw it. But this was when Iran was going crazy. I was a bit scared here, my friends. I thought, ooh, was like, maybe Iran is really that stronger. Did you guys saw this? Holy. Yo, my friends, this day was crazy in Israel. Look at the amount of them. And the Iron Dome is stopping most, from what I understand. But I remember seeing people saying, maybe Iran will destroy Israel. Because look at this, they are sending a crazy amount. Oh my god, there is a cock? That was scary to watch. My friends, look at this. This looks like aliens are coming to Earth. Dude, that's insane. That is insane. Holy sweet potato, my friends. That video was insane. Damn. Israel will never be destroyed. The Bible says so. That's terrifying. That was a ballistic missile that hit. Okay. Damn, my friends, we are living in crazy times. Of course, people always love to say the World War III now or something. Probably not, but we are living in crazy times. That's the reality. Good morning, USA. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Welcome to the community, my friend. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Damn. Just checking if everything is okay in the stream. No, there is no more attacks, I feel like. No sirens.
I'm not aware of any new alerts at the moment.
Okay. So, no new alerts at the moment. There have been crazier times. No, yeah, I mean, I also understand that. If you are living during World War I, World War II, you had a much better claim than the one I have now, right? The end of days. World wars are crazy. I think it's always been crazy. You just have social media now. That's a great point. I mean, I know I have a lot of people that are a bit older than me. Also, of course, also people that are a bit younger. But so I'm on my 30s, right? So if you are my age, this is the first time you are seeing so much conflict, you know. I remember the 9/11 situation, but I don't know, I feel like now is a bit worse. And as a European, having a war inside of Europe is something that is very unique to us. But I don't know, my friends, I feel like it's crazy times, to be fair. But I understand. Probably you can say that there was quite worse times back in the day. Let's see what this guy is talking. We go back. We go back.
Any new alerts at the moment?
Okay, we go live.
As soon as I hear from we have still yet to hear from Home Front Command that it is okay for people to leave their shelters. CNN is live in Israel right now, and Anderson Cooper is in a bomb shelter. He's in a bomb shelter. He is talking on...
They are reporting from a bomb shelter.
The camera. Home Front Command says the event has ended. The event has ended, according to Home Front Command. People can leave their shelters.
Okay.
The event has ended. End of event. All right. Well,
okay.
Probably that's I mean, that might be the smallest possible. There now, the camera will pan down now because the event is over. It might be the smallest possible barrage you can witness.
I think we are fine.
But the event has ended. Now, where is this? Oops.
We should use something, my friends. A lot of you guys probably saw this video, but basically Iran had the Islamic Revolution in 79, and this was Iran before the Islamic Revolution. Okay, we have to take out the sound or I will get copyright. Okay, they had kings. Damn, Jane, you know I was born in... Oh, wow, that's crazy, Jane. How do you know? Do you remember me saying or something? But Iran was almost a Western country back in the day. It's actually kind of shocking. Look at this, my friends. I mean, don't look at the woman. That's not my point. But look at this. Iran used it to be amazing. Holy. It's kind of crazy how a country can, you know, instead of advance, go back. Look at the woman, all of them, you know, just having a good time there. And the thing is, there is a lot of people alive that remember this Iran. That's probably why the regime struggles with the people there. Because there is still a lot of people alive, you know, that end up being here, having this freedom. They use it to be progressive, yeah. It's actually, yes, I do remember. Jane, what do you mean? Oh, okay. I thought that you were saying I remember being in Iran. No, you remember my anniversary. Okay, thank you. No, but this, honestly, this is really impressive. And from what I understand, countries like America, like France, they really liked Iran back in the day, because they thought Iran could be an amazing place to make the Western culture a bit more prevalent in the Middle East. Thanks, John. No, but this is honestly, I find this crazy to see. I'm going to be real. The way a country was going into saying the correct direction, I think we should not say that, but going in a good direction. It's kind of crazy. And the thing is, they had the Islamic Revolution, and from what I understand, they are the most extreme that they can be when it comes to Islam, because they have a couple of variations. Iran is still pretty Western. Yeah, my friend, sorry, but and you are the one that says that I have to do more investigation. I love to have you here, but Iran is not Western at all. I mean, of course, that there will be exceptions, but you know, if I have food on my fridge, does not mean you know, that everyone have food. They have a chance now to change it again. Yeah, that's true. And I think that's the only way that they can find some type of direction. Because this type of war at the end of the day, I don't think it will help. I have to be fair. I think the change needs to start from the people. No, I know. No, I saw. I'm not going to even say because YouTube may get mad at me, but I saw that they did something really bad to a couple of women because they showed a bit of hair. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, Iran used to be known for its universities. That's true. We drove illegal American cars in the UK. I will watch that, John, or save to watch with all of you in the next live. But don't worry. I guess you can remember, but you can remember me next time. But now we are basically at the end. My friends, you may not be aware, but there is a new video of me right now. And when I'm live, most of the time the videos tend to not do that well because you guys are here with me. It is what it is, let's all be honest. But wait, why is the video not live actually? Oh my god, the video is not live. Is casuals? Wait, the video didn't went live. What happened? Wait, my friends, 1 second. I'm getting censored by YouTube. Wait. I'm gonna make the video public, I guess. My friends, I'm gonna share this with you. Shut up, André. This video, it was a reaction I did back in the day with all of you, but I believe most of you guys never saw this one. So let me go here. Share the link. And my friends, go there. Say that you guys came from André. It would mean the world to me, as you guys are aware. Gonna pin the comment. Perfect. And that's it for today, my friends. Just got a notification. Okay. My friends, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, YouTube is a bit weird today for some reason. Well, nothing we can do, right? Thank you, Becca. Thank you so much. My friends, just to finish this. If you had a great time, now is the time to leave me the number 2. Number 2 in the chat if you had a good time. Was this a good live, my friends? I hope so. Oh, my friends, thank you so much. But again, go there, say that you guys, God bless your family. Thank you, friends. Today was a bit of a different live, I'm aware, but I had a good time at least. My friends, the link right now in the chat. Right now in the chat. Thank you, friends. You guys are all awesome. And remember, if you are having a good day, we are here for you. The Portuguese guy with a bunch of Americans. We got you, my friend. So don't worry. But yeah, thank you so much. And see you guys in the next one. Bye, my friends. Don't forget.